It's showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
Do-do-do. Welcome to the Next Reel Saturday Matinee, our weekly show where the Next Reel team gets together to talk about news, reviews, new trailers, and the hotly debated Weekly List Challenge. I'm Mandy Kaplan, and I'm so excited to be back after our summer hiatus with Krissy Lenz.
Hello! I too am excited and ready for some hotly debating.
That could be my stripper name. And we are also joined today by the handsome and talented Tommy Metz.
Hooray! It is wonderful to be here for the second week in a row.
Yay!
Yeah, we did this together last week.
We did this last time too. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
basically
I'm
we just
very
badmouthed
excited.
Krissy the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Has that episode dropped or?
And it
Now
was an
this is
instant
awkward.
classic. Yes, absolutely.
So first, I would like to know what you guys have been watching and ingesting this week. There's so much.
Well, I definitely have watched everything that y'all talked about last week. So Sandman, watched it, loved it. Blackbird, watched it, loved it. And then I guess I needed a break from new content. So I've just been watching old Law and Order, like season 15, 16, which is like right after 9/11. It's weird.
So no Jerry Orbach. It's post Jerry Orbach.
Is this Law and Order plain?
Yeah, Law and Order original recipe. No,
Not with chives.
It's the Dennis Farina is like the core detective. And then of course Sam Waterston is always there. Has he ever not been there? And so I'm a big Law and Order fan. And I'm pretty excited for the new, when it all premieres in the fall, they're going to do like some sort of mega crossover with the SVU team and the original recipe team.
And the Wiggles?
Whatever, and
No.
which one is?
The Wiggles? No.
And the Wiggles, yes.
Yeah, I was trying
bringing
to.
in the Australia.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
I have never seen an episode of Law and Order.
How did
Any
you
of them?
avoid it?
Wow.
I'm a talented person.
Every
Seriously?
actor has been on at least one of them.
Yes.
When friends
it's-
are on it, I've seen their scenes. Like I've,
Okay.
but I'm just like, fast forward, body in the alley, got it. Oh, my friend did it. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
You know?
always fun when your friend did it. Like that's a real exciting win.
Yeah.
My friends and I in college created a Law and Order SVU drinking game, which only now I'm realizing is an incredibly dark conceit. But we had all of the tropes. Of course, every time the gavel hits, the dung dung.
Dun-dun.
Every time someone joins a conversation with not being able to have heard what's going on, they'll walk in, they'll be like, well, you're probably going to want to take a look at this then. And you're like, you were in the elevator. How did you know what we were talking about? And we just had like a list of 20 rules and we would get S-faced.
Have you guys ever heard John Mulaney's routine about it? It's perfection.
It's absolute. Yes. The bartenders always remember every single detail of everything that's ever happened in their bar.
Yep.
And nobody can stop stacking dog food or whatever it is. That they're-
Guy unloading crates.
Nobody has time for the cops.
Oh, I love it.
I know. If I'm ever talking to a cop, which is luckily very rare, I am not multitasking.
I know,
am
it's like
officer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's this. So the Dennis Farina character has this bit that he does in every episode where he's like, "It's okay, we're authorized." That's what he says to the people who should not be giving him this information. It'll be like a school secretary who's like, well, I don't know. You should definitely show me a subpoena before I give you all of our children's medical records. And then he goes, no, it's okay. We're authorized. And the people inevitably go, yeah, it's like his like,
that's fun.
I am authorized. I'm doing the Jedi mind trick for you podcast listeners. And then they just give him whatever information he's out there asking for.
They sure do.
He seems like someone that would be authorized.
Right. He's really got an authorized like air about him. I mean, I would give him whatever medical records he was looking for. But yeah, so it's like the early aughts. So they're all like ripped from the headlines of the year 2001. So pretty fun.
Tommy, what have you been watching?
A lot of the same stuff. I did watch and loved Sandman. I was really, really happy with it. And it was really sort of a hit parade of the biggest stories from the first two graphic novels, from what I could tell. So that was really exciting. And I saw Blackbird because I got 3 free months of Apple time. And I thought that was really cool. That was scratching an itch I didn't know was there. And then I went and saw the movie that I offered up that horrific trailer for last time, where it's just called Fall, and it's just about 2 women on the top of the tallest TV tower, and the ladder falls off, and they're stuck. And it is tentacular. It is not terribly good, but it's pretty well acted, and I was alone in the theater, giggling and like hiding my face, and I think I lost 2 pounds. Just from like clenching whenever, because it's a lot of, okay, go. And I'm every time, even like 10 minutes in, they're not going to just fall, but I'm like, why? So I thought it was really a lot of fun. It was a good big screen, kind of dumb, but well acted, single focus kind of thing. So I liked it.
I love dumb, but well acted.
The story of my life. I did, in fact, watch She-Hulk. Did either one of you check that out?
I don't have Disney. How did it turn out? Because I know that you were so excited for it.
I am less excited about it. It was the first episode was very typical Marvel, like with the training sequences. And it just was, so I want to watch another one and see if it gets her into the real world and into the courtroom. And does it? Krissy, did you watch more than the first?
No. And I didn't get to see all of the first one. I've only seen that one like scene that everybody's talking about, where she is talking with Bruce about how, like, she as a woman has always controlled her anger and has to keep it on the inside. And that's why it's easier for her. Because there's been like people either love that or hate it.
It's a bit on the nose. Yeah.
But no, so I haven't gotten to see the whole thing, but I do think that Marvel has a tendency to assume that you're there for them and that you will take whatever content they're serving you, however they like to serve it. So they'll take their time getting into something. WandaVision, which is great, takes 3 whole episodes before you're like, I see what they're doing. Okay, I see what's happening.
But WandaVision grabbed me from the beginning. As a non-Marvel person, I was intrigued. I didn't quite see what they were doing yet. But
once they started showing things and it got less sitcom-y, I started to lose interest because I didn't know what was going on.
Tommy. Me too. Oh, kindred spirit. Yeah, I just loved the whole, I get it. Now they're in the 70s. Oh, I get it. This is an imitation of the Petries on Dick Van Dyke. I loved it. And and then it got more superhero-y and I was like, meh. So
yeah, I was opposite. I was like, okay, is each one going to be just like a send up of the tropes of the TV of this era, which I liked. I love tropes of the TV of this era. Whatever era it is, I love it. But I was like, okay, but why all of this? And then when it started to get into like, but there's a mystery, I'm like, yay, mystery. I'm like, why couldn't they have had an episode where it's a Law and Order, there's some sort of procedural crime that happens? That would be right in my wheelhouse. So I think that they will check the boxes that they need to check with the first few episodes, and then they'll start telling stories that are just you get it now, you know who she is, let's just let her live in her world. That's my guess.
Okay. Well, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to come exact my revenge on you.
Very well.
Fair?
Yes, as 2 women, we have to fight at some point, right?
Yeah. Speaking of fighting women, I started Bad Sisters, which I believe is on Apple. That's the Sharon Horgan show.
What's that? Who's that?
Sharon Horgan is from, oh my God, Rob Delaney's show. What the hell is that called?
Oh, Stubborn. Nope. Disaster. Nope.
Okay. Rob Delaney. Oh boy. Let's put the research department on it. I can't believe I'm blanking.
No, that was about a train. Catastrophe.
Catastrophe. Thank you. She is an Irish actress, writer, brilliant performer. And this is a very, very typical story, but just well acted, well crafted. It's just like one of these sisters has a nasty husband. He dies. And turns out all the sisters did it. And they reveal that pretty up top. So I'm not spoiling anything. So we started watching that and I adore her. We finished Only Murders in the Building and I'm sad it's over. Mm-hmm. That's appointment television in this house. I love it so much.
I can't get enough of that trio. And I heard they're making another season. I had heard originally that they were going to do 2 and then be done. But I read that they're doing another one. And I can't remember who, but someone really Paul Rudd is going to be in the next season. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yes. They put that right in the end of the second. They gave us a flash forward. So
I'm not there yet.
Yeah. And then I saw Vengeance in the theater, which is BJ Novak's film, which Tommy had told me he chose as a trailer on SatMap, which I didn't know. So I'm just following Tommy's orders.
Yay. Did you guys watch the extra episodes of Sandman that dropped secretly?
I haven't yet. Are they both animated?
I'm not sure. It's a 2-part thing, so I wasn't sure if it was 1 episode or 2 episodes. All I know is that it's about cats.
Yeah, the first one is just this like one-timer short story that he wrote and won a bunch of awards for. It's about what cats are dreaming about when they're sleeping. Ooh. And then this other one, Calliope, is about someone that captures a muse in order to... And so one's really lighthearted, one's kind of dark. But I have not seen them yet. But I watched all the rest. Yeah, that was kind of a fun surprise to drop.
All right. Well, thank you, Neil Gaiman. Did I get that right? Is that who that is?
Yep.
Sure.
Thank you indeed.
Let's talk trailers. Let's see what we're looking forward to seeing or not seeing based on these trailers. Krissy, you are up first and last.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Krissy had 2 entries, but I'm not going to allow it.
Very good. Very good. So
overruled.
The entry I decided on in the end was something where I felt I needed to like bring a little bit of like heartwarming optimism to our trailer extravaganza with Welcome to Wrexham, the documentary about the story of Ryan Reynolds and Rob I always say it wrong. Rob McElhenney. Who buy a small football club in Wrexham. And it's sort of like almost like a Ted Lasso situation where they're kind of like just going to be part of this town and learn about the town and the history of their club and try and like reinvigorate it with, because of course they're bringing like all this Hollywood madness to the table. So I'm really excited to watch that on Hulu.
I've got with me Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, the new owners of Wrexham AFC.
What was the connection between you and Wrexham Football Club?
We had no direct connection. It was just a feeling.
What me and my dad thought was because Wrexham's red, Deadpool's red.
That's the real reason. Sorry.
I think the biggest challenge is the community looking around going, what are these 2 guys doing here?
Welcome to Wrexham. Only fools rush in.
Is that the gym?
It will be the gym.
Wow.
Yeah, this will work.
Wrexham is a town that battles against odds constantly. But the thing that we love more than anything is the football club.
It's an underdog story, and it's about interconnectivity between the club and the community.
Football's more than a game. It's not life and death. It's more important than that.
You're watching those games with your kids and your father, your mother, but I don't remember any specific game. I just remember watching my dad.
If they're successful, it will be the biggest day in the history of the town.
Yeah, I heard Ryan Reynolds on Smartless talking about this, and Rob McElhenney, actually. They both went on to promote this. And nothing about it appeals to me.
Oh.
It just
not even
doesn't
them?
have...
Like, they appeal to me so much. I like both of them. I find them very charming, and I want to be friends with them.
Right. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is undeniably charming. I don't know Rob McElhenney. I'm not a Sunny in Philadelphia person. But I just... because it's so Ted Lasso, but just the doc version of it, it makes me roll my eyes. I'm like, well, you couldn't come up with something more original? Like, it just, I don't know.
Well, they really did it though. Like, and I think that, I mean, I don't think it has any like real life ties to like the content of Ted Lasso. It does come out on the 31st. So. Okay. In the time machine of when this is very, very soon. Do you like Ted Lasso, Mandy?
I love Ted Lasso, yeah.
Okay. Just too similar for you think?
Yeah. I'm very anti-reboot, anti-spinoff. Like, come up with a new idea, please. I love new ideas. And yes, we've seen Ted Lasso. We've seen A Fish Out of Water, and we've seen A Coach. But that had such a fresh approach, and the heart is so strong. I really love Ted Lasso. And I don't want to see somebody go, well, let's just do Ted Lasso for real. That's
so funny. Like I of course, like totally see what you're saying, but like feel the opposite. Because when I watch Ted Lasso, I'm like, oh, now I need to watch soccer, I guess. I need to figure out how to watch soccer. So this for me was like, oh, okay. They will help me learn to watch soccer by getting to see this like little piece of them like bringing the positivity and like reinvigorating this team. And I think like Ryan Reynolds, at least just persona or the way that he seems to me, is kind of like a Ted Lasso-esque person where he's just like brings a lot of positivity and to the table, even if it's in a like snarky Deadpool like persona.
Yeah. Not when I dated him, but that's a story for a different episode. Don't worry about it.
So I'm excited, and I was like really moved by the trailer. So it was cry number 1 from trailers for me this week.
I've seen a different trailer that upped some of the stakes more. That they're saying like they are very honest in their worries if we screw this up, it's going to seem like 2 Hollywood idiots coming in and messing everything up. So I like that too. I like your trailer, but I like the fact that they seem very self-aware. That at the end, when it goes to the title of that other trailer, it's just Rob McElhenney repeating, we're not going to screw it up. We're not going to screw it up. We're not going to screw it up. Almost like a mantra. So I like that too. I think that's neat. I'm looking forward to it primarily because I like both of them so much.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's going to exist, and I hope it goes somewhere.
The cheese stands alone. That's okay. What did you bring to the table, Tommy?
I fired this one right up the middle. I think straight into your lap, Mandy. A lot of times I feel like sometimes you are left wanting for certain trailers like the one we just watched. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you CatDaddies.
People see a cat dad and they're like, oh, you must be weird and creepy. And I feel like we're getting to a point where it's going to be okay to be like, yeah, I have cats.
One of my good friends in college asked this group of male friends, what do you guys think if I got a couple cats? Definitely the reaction was like, no, man, you can't do that.
Men have always loved cats. Some of those old stereotypes that are fading away.
We started an Instagram on it. There was some media interest. They want to know who owns this cat. You know, where does this cat come from?
The bigger we got online, the more people started reaching out to us and wanting to meet us.
It wasn't going to be that I need to train him. He kind of came out of the box as an adventure cat.
I had no idea of her love for cats. She came over, that was it. I was like, keep doing your thing, Toodles, good boy.
When you punch in the morning, you don't know what you're about to run into. You probably have a hard time getting the guys to admit flame helps, but it's proven that even just petting an animal can bring your blood pressure down.
I definitely feel a sense of purpose in this work. The immediate gratification of taking a cat off the street.
Being homeless almost 2 years, it's hard. Lucky, first and foremost, has become his family. That little creature just saved my life.
I am 100% not going to watch this movie ever. I am not a cat daddy, nor do I care for the phrase cat daddies, but it's about men, and I guess it seems to be that they're getting over the, what's it called? The
stigma? Stereotype?
Stigma, thank you. The cat daddy stigma. And so it's a bunch of men with beards and their cats are walking all over them. And it just seems very, very charming and very cute. And I know you're an enormous cat person, Mandy. Are you, Krissy?
I can't have cats because my husband and children are terribly allergic, but I do love cats. In an alternate universe, I have cats, but in this world, I have chihuahuas.
Well, in an alternate universe, you are a cat daddy.
Yes.
I mean, let's shoot for the stars. Yeah, so CatDaddies, it looks ridiculous. It looks like a Hallmark something. And I kind of don't believe it will ever come out because it looks like the type of movie that is on in the background of another movie. Like it looks like something that would have been on like 30 Rock in the background or something like that, starring Tracy Jordan.
I really like that description.
Yeah. But if you are interested, sorry, I should have this up and I do not. It's a documentary feature that is playing at film festivals right now, it turns out. And so I don't think we know exactly when it's going to be available for us, but stick here, folks. I will have, coming to select theaters in New York and LA in late October. So good luck, Cat Daddies.
Yeah. Shockingly, I'm not going to see this movie either. The trailer was enough. Yeah.
I think you got
cute cats and cute guys. And I was like, am I allowed to say porn on ZapMat? I was like, Tommy tried to find kitty porn for me, like actual porn, because I am a huge crazy cat lady. And, but it's just, I saw enough,
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's cute. And I am guilty of watching cat videos on the dodo, and I will watch a cat on a motorcycle or a bicycle with a dude anytime, but just in little tiny chunks.
I only watch the first 2 minutes of dodo videos. Is that weird? As soon as they get the emaciated animal in their car, I'm like, I'm good.
Oh, no, I have to see. I fast forward. I got to see how that animal turns out.
Of course. Oh. It's like watching just the first 7 minutes of Up. What kind of a sociopath would I be?
I've never made it past 7 minutes. I can't even handle the first 7.
Yeah.
Ooh. Mine, I hope, is a real crowd pleaser. I have been looking forward to this movie for a very long time. It is co-written and starring Billy Eichner, and I know he's an acquired taste, but he's also a fine actor. For anyone who's only seen Billy on the street, that is not what he does. He's actually a really great actor, actually a very good singer. And
I didn't know he was a singer. That's fun.
Mm-hmm. And this is his film, Bros.
Hey guys, it's Bobby Lieber coming to you from the future home of the LGBTQ+ Museum. Everyone is really excited and totally getting along.
This happens to be Bisexual Awareness Week, and no one has acknowledged it.
Lesbian History Month was in March. Nobody said a goddamn thing.
Of course, lesbians get a month and we get a week.
So what's happening? Didn't you guys have an announcement?
This is a little unexpected, but we are in a throuple situation.
You're in a throuple? Let me tell you what's progressive now. Being alone. I love my life. I love my freedom. I love my independence.
That's kind of sad.
That I don't want to be in a throuple. I don't even want to be in a couple.
Bobby, I had sex with that 65-year-old.
Jesus, he's ripped.
I know. It's like they injected steroids into Dumbledore. Oh my God, that's Aaron. He's very hot.
Gay guys are so stupid.
I know. But we've been smart enough to brand ourselves as being smart.
It's our little secret.
You met a guy?
I don't think I'm his type. He's like gay Tom Brady. What are you into? One of these ripped idiots with no opinions?
No, I'd like someone who's physically very frail and won't stop talking.
And I bet he's as intimidated by you as you are by him.
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, I can do whenever and I can do whatever.
Cool. Whatever, whenever. GIF of Michael Scott dancing.
Office GIF? This person isn't gay.
It's rare that I laugh at a trailer, especially a trailer I've seen before. But it tickles me. The dialogue is funny. And I think that these characters and these writers can get away with the kind of criticism of the gay world that they're going to unleash. It's very self-aware. It's very, that opening scene with like lesbians get a whole month and bisexuals only get this. And well, straight people had a good run. I just think these jokes the world is ready and these are the right people to tell them. And the romance looks sweet and the guy looks so cute. Dreamy, right? And so I'm very, very excited. And I suffered over the summer through a different gay rom-com called Fire Island that I cannot recommend. Did you like it?
I thought it was pleasant. I liked that it existed. And I like Bowen Yang a lot. Sure.
Yeah.
And the other guy
he's in this one too.
He's in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I liked the idea of it more than I liked actually it. It felt a little bit underdone. And that main comedian, sort of the lead that's not
Joel Booster. Joel Kim Booster.
Yeah, I think he's really funny, but he's not a good actor,
not an actor. Yeah.
And so that was a problem with the movie. But yeah, I like that we are having these movies now.
Yes. And this feels like it'll solve all the problems of that. This feels like it's done right, and I cannot wait. It is in theaters on September 30th, and I will be there that day if I have anything to say about it.
Right behind CatDaddies. I bet Billy Eichner's a cat daddy. I also like that we are getting away from not that there was a problem with it, but the Love Simons, the Love Arthurs, that we're bringing a biting sensibility and satirical and like doing stuff like Fire Island was, instead of just really young people coming out to no conflict at all, which is which I was always a little bit like in Love, Simon. I was like, oh, so he was like depressed because why? So yeah, I am excited for this very much. I feel like I've been hearing about it for a really long time.
Right?
I have never heard of this. How is it like I haven't heard of it. I haven't seen the trailer. So when I turned it on to watch it, I was just like so happy. And I was just like, what is this brilliant, beautiful thing? So thank you, Mandy, for bringing it to my attention. I will absolutely be there with bells on opening day. My daughter is 16 and she is a huge like LGBT QIA plus everything activist. She started a Rainbow Alliance at her school, and
awesome.
It is so important to her, like, and so exciting to her whenever she sees a representation that is allowed to be funny, silly. It doesn't have to be like, well, here we give you gay, it's just something that's part of the world that they get to live in. And so to see all the goofy like rom-com tropes and to have it finally be like happening between two men is so lovely. And I laughed too at the trailer. I think it's going to be hilarious. I love Billy Eichner. I like fell in love with him in Parks and Rec. And love Billy on the Street. So I just can't wait. And I definitely like teared up and cried a little bit just from like, look at the movie that they're making. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Billy Eichner. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good. Wait, did I win trailers?
You did.
I'm just kidding. I don't get to play the game, so I need to win something because I'm a brat. So there it is. Well, before we get to our game, which I'm nervous about, so I'm gonna stall. Maybe we'll run out of time. I'm a little nervous. No, but I would like to know what you guys would like to tell everybody about. What are you doing out there in the world that people can check you out outside of SatMat?
Ooh, I am doing the Most Excellent 80s Movies podcast, which is a bi-weekly exploration of the movies from the 80s that we think we love, or maybe even completely missed. And we rewatch them with our grown-up eyes and see what we think of them now. We just finished a run of like really intense action movies. Like unintentionally, it was like a whole lot of action movies right in a row. Like Delta Force, The Terminator, Predator, just a lot of machine guns right in a row.
Delta Force.
And then
I forgot about Delta Force.
Oh,
that's a rough one. Yeah.
That's one I had missed, and woof. Oof.
It is the opposite of CatDaddies.
It is very much. And then we took a sharp left turn into The Natural. We're going to do some baseball movies.
Oh,
cool.
Bull Durham.
Bull Durham, love, or at least I remember loving it, right? So is it still
holds
good?
up. Yeah,
we'll find out.
All right. Tommy, what's going on in your world?
Two things. Pete and I have started recording season 7, finally, of What's That Smell? A sometimes funny podcast about humans and their anxieties. We are banking some episodes, so we can get out ahead, but we have 3 done, and we realize we're way too far ahead of it. So we're going to be making the trailer this next week, and then we will start. And members, if you want to become a Panic Pal, you can go to whatsthatsmell.net and become a Panic Pal today. Get a whole bunch of stuff that we're making up. And then I am very proud to say that I made a horror film, my first short horror film called Static, and we recently found out that we have been accepted into our first festival. We're 1 for 1. We are in Los Angeles Scream Fest, which is a very prestigious horror, but very prestigious one. It shows, all the films are shown at whatever the Chinese Man's Theater is called now.
Grauman's.
Yeah.
It's not called that anymore?
So that'll be in October, and now we're just sitting and waiting to hear from other festivals. So good luck us. But so far, it's very exciting.
Well, congratulations. I can't wait. I hope I can be there. And
Thank you.
And then I hope that Mandy and I can talk all about it on The Man Cave, my podcast, hosted by 2 best friends with nothing in common except their first names. New episodes come out every Monday. Right, it's a true story podcast. We love doing it. We just came back and we did talk about Vengeance. So if you are curious about that BJ Novak film, that episode is coming out next week. And I have my 34th edition of Miscast Right Singer Wrong Song happening in North Hollywood on Sunday, September 25th, benefiting, as always, Project Angel Food. And tickets are at Eventbrite, and it's just hilarious, and also featuring Tommy Metz.
Hey, Cat Daddy! I'm going to stop.
Yeah. And it's for charity, and it's hilarious, and it's just my pride and joy. So if anybody's in the Los Angeles area, Sunday, September 25th, tickets at Eventbrite. It's called Miscast. I am done. I am ready to play a game.
All right.
Now, if we were in person, I would lean over and kiss you awkwardly every time I was waiting for an answer. So that would make me Richard Dawson. Anyone?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
too old.
You need a tiny, long, thin microphone.
Keep it clean, Krissy. We are playing The Family Feud. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. I hope. You guys will do that thing where you're up at the podium and one of your hands is behind your back.
Okay.
Let me see it. And then your other hand is going to raise up, and whoever's hand I see first is I'm going to call on to answer.
Okay.
It is movies and TV and pop culture are the themes. I will give you the topic.
You said we were buzzing in with hands or buzzing in with names. You said hands?
Your hand up. Or I guess for listeners, you should say your name.
Okay. I think it's maybe. I agree.
Yes. Okay. And I will try and keep score, but that's not going to go very well because it's math.
No.
Alrighty. Top 6 answers on the board. Please name a top sitcom of the 2000s.
Krissy?
Krissy, go for it.
That 70s show? Is that from the 90s?
Yeah, sorry for my sound effects. Tommy.
The Big Bang Theory?
Number 1 answer. Ding, 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 ding. Tommy, let's see if you can run the board.
I cannot. The 2000s. I don't, let's see. Sitcoms, eh?
Get ready with that steel, Krissy. I'm fairly sure this is going to go up in flames pretty fast.
All of the 2000s? Or do you mean
2000s? Tommy, I'm just reading off a thing. Name a top sitcom from the 2000s.
Copy that. Okay, I'm going to say... I don't really watch sitcoms. I can't think of anything. I'm going to say... Will and Grace. Yep.
You get
Fair
2
enough.
more strikes.
Okay. Oh,
It's all you,
keep
Tommy.
going?
That's how the feud works. Now I'm going to
got
go
it.
to over here and kiss you and say, name a sitcom
Yep.
of the 2000s.
I'm going to say thousands. That was 20. So we'll say 22 years ago.
These are all very well known, like nothing
course.
esoteric or, yeah.
Of course. Mom.
Well,
two
that was
strikes.
the one I had in my pocket.
Really?
Yeah, that was the only one I can think of.
Then now I'm going to say Law and Order SVU. I got nothing else. So that's my third strike.
Wow. 3 strikes. Krissy, can you steal it?
2.5 Men?
Oh,
Ding, 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 ding.
Of course.
I was like, what did Chuck Lorre make? That's all I could think of.
Oh, of course. That's right.
So,
and I have a John Cryer thing coming up later. I'm a dumb.
Krissy wins that round. The
Good
other
work,
answers
Krissy.
were, and I feel like I need a lot of people here to shout them out with me.
Yep.
And I lied. Some of them are obscure. Friends.
Oops.
Oh, that was
That was still on in 2000?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
How I Met Your Mother.
Oops. Yep.
The Office.
What?
And
Why did I think all of
one
these
of my
weren't going?
personal favorites of all times, Scrubs.
Scrubs.
Oh.
I love Scrubs. I was
I
really
love
obsessed
Scrubs.
with Scrubs. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not good. That's a lost period of time for me. The 2000s.
Yes, me too.
Sounds like we need to delve into that.
Yeah.
All right, round 2. Round 1 went to Krissy.
Okay.
Round
Okay.
2 is top 7 answers on the board. Say your name when you want to chime in. Name a Disney movie that has been remade.
Tommy.
Go, Tommy.
Beauty and the Beast.
Ding, 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 ding. Number 5. Now you got to keep naming them.
Sequels aren't a remake,
Remade.
right? Okay. Got it. The Lion King.
Ding, ding, ding. Number 1.
Jungle Book.
Featuring the lovely voice of Billy Eichner in Lion
Oh, who
King.
was he? Was he the meerkat?
Yeah. Right?
Timon
Timon?
and Pumbaa. He and Seth Rogen. I forget which one was which. But he can say. Okay. You named another one that is on the list. Could you say it again, please?
Jungle Book, please.
Ding, ding, ding. Number 4.
Did I already say Beauty and the Beast?
You did.
Then instead, I'm going to say you.
I'm
But I have
sorry.
to
You're
get
going
all
to
of
run out
them?
of time. You're going to run out of time.
I know I will.
That's what happened on the show.
Okay. Fair
You
enough.
ran out of time. But you have 2 more strikes.
Oh,
So do you have any other answers?
Oh, I see. I just ran out of one thing. Okay, got it.
Yes.
So, well, of course, it's not the Aristocats, but it is.
Hey, that counts as a guess, and I don't like the way that you tried to sneak that in there.
Of course, it's not the Aristocats. No one has seen the Aristocats. Jazz
Okay.
Cats?
That's
No.
That's another strike. I'm sorry. I don't care for that.
Oh my goodness. You're ruling
Yeah.
with an iron feud. All right.
I am.
I'm going to rack my brains real quick and say, no. Snow White?
Krissy, do you have one?
Aladdin?
Ding, ding, ding,
Oh,
ding,
yeah.
ding. Number 2.
Everybody
So-
loved Will Smith in that, right? It was universally beloved, I think.
So now that means that, Krissy has won both, right?
I guess.
I stole both.
You
Tommy
stole
did the hard
both.
work, and then I just snuck in and pulled it out from under.
Yeah,
Right. So
I'm rethinking my
I'm going to do
strategy.
one more round, and I'm going to randomly decide this is winner take all, just to keep it fun. Okay.
Oh, fun.
Keep
Okay.
the stakes high. Yeah. Now, again, I didn't make this list. Name top 5 answers on the board. 5 answers. Name a top grossing movie of the 2000s.
The 2000s? The 2000s, Mandy?
I just looked it up. I'm
Krissy.
sorry. Krissy.
She's all that.
Top grossing movie.
Top
I don't think you. I don't
That was
think
a
you
huge
heard.
movie.
I don't think you heard me. Top grossing movie.
People didn't love she's
Top
on
top
Krissy.
grossing. Yes,
American
Krissy.
Pie.
Okay, Krissy.
What?
You need to be thinking blockbuster, like worldwide phenomenon top grossing movies. Tommy, do you have a guess?
I do, but I'm afraid to go because then I end up having to do all the work and then I lose at the end. Titanic.
No,
that
was the 90s.
That's from the 90s, 97.
Yeah.
I don't care for that.
Who directed
I have another one.
James
I'm trying to give hints
Avatar.
now. Yeah.
Avatar.
Yes.
Avatar. She's all bad. Iron Man. One of the Iron Men.
Oddly, no.
See,
No.
I'm really bad with putting places or putting things in certain time periods. I know when I graduated from high school. Does that help?
What do you think the top grossing movie trilogy of all time is?
Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Now we've
I
got
did it.
number 1 and number 2. What do we think the number 1
I'm on top of the world.
Disney animated movie is?
Disney animated movie
Toy
Toy Story.
It is not, but
2, 3, 4. Nope.
No.
It's not Cars, is it? Me.
No. I didn't know you had such hatred.
Yeah. Is it animated like CGI or like real animation? Are you allowed to tell us that?
CGI. I mean, it's 2000s.
Okay. So it's
It's not Fantasia.
The Invisibles. That's not what their name is. The
Incredibles?
Nope, no good.
No, this is not going well. Family Feud has crashed and burned. The number 3 is Finding Nemo.
Oh.
I'll allow it. Okay.
Number 4, Shrek. I never would have thought that was one of the top grossing movies.
I would never have pulled that out.
Yeah.
I can't believe that beat She's All That. What?
I thought you were thinking of Shrek when you said she's all.
Number 5, Pirates of the Caribbean. I can
That
hear
all
the
checks out.
audience behind me like going, Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know.
Like, you know how they always say it like Shrek and then they have opinions that they're,
Okay. See, like I said, 2000s are a lost time because I would have put all of those. If you asked me what year those came out, I would have been guessing in the 2010s or just like editing them into a later in life.
What were you doing in the 2000s? I mean, it sounds like you were
That's true.
strung out.
A ton of movies. I was in college. I was at school. I went to the movies all the time. Like, when did the Harry Potter movies come out? I don't even know.
Yeah, answer the question. That's just I'm not good at that. This was a wonderful game.
Yeah, I love Family Feud.
I love Family Feud. Doing it in a certain time period, I've always been really bad about that. And it sounds like Krissy's the same way.
Twilight.
Sorry,
when
gang.
did Twilight come out? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's over now. We don't have to focus on it. We can all move on. Dun 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 dun. It's all done. You know what isn't done is our lists. We still have lists to make. So our assignment this time around was movies that take place in school. Right?
Yes.
Krissy, you are up first.
I am so excited for this list. As I was listening to you guys decide this on the last one, I was like, well, I've already got 5. How will I narrow it down? And I immediately decided to eliminate 2 of the ones that you talked about directly in last week's Sat Mat.
I appreciate the effort.
Smart. Yep. This seems like a highly stealable potential.
I'm nervous based on something you already said, Tommy, that you've got one of mine. But I do have backup. So I'm going to start with one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time, which it absolutely holds up, is a never-ending delight to me. And it is the story of 2 best friends who have to pass their final history report. And in order to do so, luckily, they have the assistance of friend from the future and his magical phone booth. I'm talking, of course, about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
And it really does still hold up. I haven't seen it since.
We just watched it.
There's one 3-letter F word, or maybe there's 2 3-letter F words, which really are cringy. But other than that, it is the beauty of friendship.
Yep.
And it's so good. And it was all not all, but largely filmed here in the Tempe area in Arizona. And so I just recently went to see it at a screening that they did at the Circle K because they are tearing down that Circle K.
Oh, no.
We went to see it projected on the outside wall of that Circle K.
Why don't you chain yourself to the Circle K so they won't tear it down?
I tried, but then nobody knew when the Mongols ruled China, so they kicked me out.
Fair enough. Excellent choice. I like that movie.
Trouble with that movie only because I am such a square. I was always... What's preternaturally mean? Like before my time, I was very against the idea, or when people would talk like this. Wait, that's not right. But like that surfer kind of accent.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like,
the Keanu Reeves.
And like bogus and stuff. I always thought that was so dumb. But I realized that's a deficiency in me. Like I'm voting for the squares in Holden Caulfield, like in Catcher in the Rye. Like I'm just a company man. So I suck. Like grunge was like a complete nightmare to me, and I was listening to Rick Astley at the time. The end. So, but otherwise, did you see the third one?
Yes, I did, and I adored it. I loved it.
Oh, really?
Good. That's
good. All right, Tommy, what you got?
Well, because I wonder if I'm going to be taking something because of something that I said. This is a movie that I can't imagine holds up terribly, but I was obsessed with it so much so it might have been like a Beastmaster, like it was always on something. Do you remember back in the days when Beastmaster was on every single day, every single afternoon? Yep. Well, this one was one that I've probably seen 1,800 times. It's a tale as old as time, biblical in nature, where a stockbroker robs from the mob and is forced to hide out in a high school. Hiding Out starring John Cryer. He shaves his mustache and all of a sudden he's Ducky. So I kind of really want to watch it again. The one part I remember is, nope, that's from a different movie. What movie is it where someone's smoking a cigarette in the hall and they have to go and...
Grease 2.
That's Grease 2?
2. Mm-hmm.
I'd like to say it's also in Hiding Out. I'm also going to say it's in Hiding Out. Okay, good.
Okay.
So Hiding Out, that is my number 3.
Fun.
Did I steal anything?
Never would have thought of it. No.
But I love that. I love that pick.
Well, we weren't, I know neither one of you is going to take my other 2. And we weren't specific about it having to be high school. We just said school. So my first pick actually takes place on a college campus where a bunch of men in their 30s decide they want a fraternity so they can live in a house near the campus. And it is one of my favorite comedies of all time, Old School.
Yay! That's fun.
It. Great choice.
Oh, God, that movie makes me laugh so hard.
It makes me laugh so hard. When the first time I saw it, I got a headache. I was like, I got to go home. My head hurts. I love it.
It's so quotable. It's so
funny.
It's just so dumb. I mean, we quote it daily in our house. It's really a big hit. Not that Casey has seen it, for the record. Stand down, parents out there. He's 12, but I love that movie. Krissy,
excellent choice.
What else you got?
Choice.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm sort of sticking with a little bit of an 80s theme. Another one of my maybe top 10 favorite movies. I do believe it holds up, and that there are things that you see upon further viewings that perhaps don't reveal themselves at first. Also highly quotable, and also will, if you're not already deeply in love with Robin Williams, then you will be after Dead Poets Society.
Captain, my captain.
Captain, my captain.
I love that movie.
It
good
is
choice.
A good one. And little baby Ethan Hawke is so cute. Robert Sean Leonard, and it's just a really, really good cast. Really good
Josh
acting.
Charles. Yeah.
Does Anthony rap in that one, or am I thinking of School Ties?
He's in both.
Wowee! Go for it,
I
rap.
believe he's in both. But it might be
probably
a
the weasel
different
in both.
redheaded kid
Yeah, okay.
in Dead Poet Society. He's 100% in the other one, but I think he's in Dead Poet Society.
I love that movie. Good choice. Tommy.
Me. Let's see. Do we want uncomfortable, scary, or sinful?
Sinful for sure.
Sinful for sure. Okay, this is one that I saw at some point, and I have this weird. It is legitimately not good, but just because someone just brought up the amazing Josh Charles, I would like to add to that mix Laura Flynn Boyle and the no notes Stephen Baldwin. This is Threesome, something that broke
They're in
open.
school?
What's that? The whole thing
They're
takes
in
place in
school?
college.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, they're all through a happenstance. They all end up sharing a 3-bedroom dorm and refer to the title for the rest of it. Josh Charles is in love with Stephen Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin is in love with Laura Flynn Boyle. Laura Flynn Boyle is in love with Josh Charles. And around they go. And it also is the first movie of 90 that features that song, Shakala, Wang Da Body. I don't know what that song is, but do you remember that period of time where it was every second of every moment?
Yes,
they do an entire montage
I only
to that
want to
song.
heir you sing it.
Shakala.
Yeah.
So Threesome, that is my second one. Thank you very much.
Excellent choice. I am going back to my brand of musicals and ridiculous high school things that I have watched with Casey, or ridiculous things I've watched with Casey. And I'm a massive fan of this series on Disney, series of movies called The Descendants, that all take place in a magical high school where the children of all the princes and princesses go, and then they bring in the bad kids from the aisle, and craziness ensues. And I could watch these movies over and over, and it was a sad day when Casey said to me, "No, I think I'm over those." And I was like, "Oh
no,
okay."
And I think I'm over you, Casey.
Yep.
Oh no!
And the
Oh,
cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
I love The Descendants. I love their costumes. Dove Cameron. I was like so heartbroken when it didn't end up being Dove Cameron in the Wicked that they're doing.
Yeah,
she seemed just made for it,
primed and ready. Yep. But she is in Vengeance, the BJ Novak movie. So I know, I love
That's
Dove
why I
Cameron.
know that name. Okay, got it.
Yes.
All right,
all right, take us
Krissy.
home, Krissy.
Oof. Okay, I'm currently having a really hard time picking what I will choose for my third movie. So I'm going to go with the very good method of choosing that Tommy just did, which is, do you want true love, real life true love, or questionable?
Questionable.
Wait, are those 3 options or 2 options? There's 3
options.
Real life, true love, or questionable. Questionable for the win. Top 10
okay.
answers on the board.
Then I will go with the one that I thought you might steal, which is also from the 1980s, keeping up my 80s streak, which was a movie that was very important to me as like a personality defining, style defining
we've talked about this. Of
moment
course.
in time, which is Pretty in Pink.
No, we didn't.
And
I thought we talked about The Breakfast Club. Okay, that's excellent.
So
we referenced that last week, so we can't.
Yes.
Copy.
So the Breakfast Club gave us the Molly Ringwald, and then Pretty in Pink made me love her in her like, oh, I'm weird. I drive a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia and I work at a record store and I don't fit in because I'm from literally in the movie the other side of the tracks. And she wears she's so cute and funny, and John Cryer as Ducky is so cute and sad and just rides his bike in front of her house all the time as she fights for the love of Andrew McCarthy and earns the scorn of, oh my God, why am I blanking on the name of the guy who's
James
Red Reddington?
Spader.
James
Spader.
Spader, who is so mean and old in that movie. It's like, are you a
old.
teacher?
He's like
are you
40,
a teacher?
yeah.
What are you doing here?
He's hiding out from the mob, of course.
Yeah.
He is.
High schools were filled with hideouts back then.
So I think it has a problematic message, but I do think that it's a great 80s movie.
Was that
lovely?
Pardon my confusion. Is that Long Duck Dong, or was that a different movie?
No, that Long Duck Dong is
16
Candles.
I think I am confusing which is which movie. Got it. Okay, so I know what I'm going to watch. Good.
All right, Tommy, what you got?
Well, it's between uncomfortable and scary. One is a legitimately better movie. It is a good movie.
Let's
it
go
takes
that
place
one.
in school, but it is rough stuff. And it made me, rarely do I watch movies and I'm like, I'm glad I'm not a parent. Not that I'm necessarily dying to be a parent, but it's like, I'm glad I'm not, because if this is what's going on. Refusing to Stay in His Own Lane, directed by Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham, yeah.
8th grade. This movie is a revelation. At times I saw myself in it. At times I saw how I used to talk to friends back in the day. And then I've heard him talk about it a ton, Bo Burnham, in a really elegant, very empathetic way when he talks about, he would talk to adults looking at teenagers sort of sitting at a mall alone, excuse me, taking selfies of themselves and like, oh, what a vapid life they're leading. And he's like, you're wrong. You're getting it all wrong. You just don't know what you're talking about. And he made an entire movie just to try to sort of show that. So I'm a huge fan of his. The girl was outstanding. And I really loved the movie. But
I need to see it.
Yeah.
I know. I need to
I'm
see it. I love Bo
scared.
Burnham. Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like, Mandy, maybe it's the same reason I'm afraid to, is because my son is 12.
Yep, mine too.
He's in 7th grade. And I'm like,
Yep.
I don't know if I can take this in.
Yep.
Right.
I will wait until they're both 20 and then watch it.
Right. Let's make a date, Krissy. You and me will watch it together in 8 years.
Absolutely.
My third and final film, very similar in tone and uncomfortable quality, High School Musical, featuring Zac Efron, because I can't get through a show without mentioning Zac Efron.
You really can't. And you've been trying.
Not really. Nope.
No.
I just embrace it. Sandra Bullock. Okay, just had to say her name, having nothing to do with anything. Again, just these are not as good as the Descendants movies. These movies are a little forced, but they're just the talent is off the charts, and they all take place in high schools. And if anybody out there has kids, there is a bad lip reading of High School Musical. It's a 30-minute episode, bad lip reading. I cannot recommend it enough. It is beyond hilarious. We quote it all the time. I'm a huge fan of bad lip reading. High School Musical.
Excellent.
There we go. Our lists are complete, and we're not going to talk alts because that is for our after show party. So, well, I'm going to do a little business. And that sounded gross. I just meant I'm going to tell the people some stuff while you guys come up with what the next week's list challenge is going to be. Ready? Okay. Don't forget, you can get longer and ad-free versions of the Saturday Matinee by becoming a supporting member of the Next Reel family of film podcasts. Visit thenextreel.com/membership to learn more. Now, this says it's optional. I don't see why, because this is important stuff. If you're wondering what movies The Next Reel is going to be talking about in the coming weeks and months, you can visit our HQ page on Letterboxd, where you'll find a list of all the movies in the 2022 season. And while you're there, Letterboxd is offering a discount to anyone listening to The Next Reel. Just use the code NEXTREEL at checkout, and you can upgrade your Letterboxd account to Pro or Patron with a 20% off discount. The discount also works for renewals. What are we going to do to next week's panel? Let me tell you who they are. I'm stalling so you guys are going to come up with something because I don't have anything. Next week's panel, the lovely and talented Pete Wright, Kyle Olson, and Ray Delancey.
A lot of beards.
So much beard.
So much beard. I have an option. I don't know if how great it is, but
it's
perfect. I'm obsessed with CatDaddies' unusual or unexpected pets.
Love it.
Oh,
love it.
Is that kind of fun?
Fun. Yeah.
I like it.
Nicely
I was going to say
done.
movies that are for kids that you secretly like as an adult, but yours is better.
Oh, I like both of those.
I'm going to put them both in as options.
Okay.
Or movies for kids that you secretly like. All right, guys, we did it.
We did it.
Thank you for joining us on SatMat. And tune in next week, everybody. Bye.